Welcome back, Naji here. So let's continue our discussion on PyTorch, and in this video we will be discussing on two important tools, that is DataLoader and Dataset. So let's understand the major problems when we do a neural network, when we train a neural network. Okay. So we know that a neural network is data hungry, or deep learning networks are data hungry, and we require GBs of data or TBs of data, right? So consider if we have maybe like 30 GB of data, and we need to process the data. So how we will process the particular 30 GB of data? Okay, one option is we can load entire data into memory, then we can process it, right? So we need more GBs of RAM is required. So whenever RAM is increasing, like the cost also will increase exponentially. Okay. So I'm currently we are taking only 50 GB or 30 GB data, but what if like we have like a TBs of data? Okay, so loading everything into memory is almost impossible. So another option is we can we can take data one by one record at a time, then we can process that one. But that is also not feasible, right? If we have like a TBs of data, it will take long run to it will take long time to execute the process. So one another option is we can take it as a batches, and we can process the batches. We can process the data as a batch by batch. So that is one kind of optimal solution that we can do to solve like large amount of data. Then another scenario that we need to talk is, okay, what if consider like I have a three categories of data is there, because for example I have a picture of elephant is there, lion is there, and rabbit is there. Consider like I have a three categories. Okay, so there are like a 3000 records of data is there, and first 1000 record is with respect to maybe elephant, and second 1000 is with respect to lion, and third is with respect to the rabbit. So when I process the data, if I take like the first 1000 batches of data, then I train the model, then it will contain only the elephant data, right? So if I take the second element, second batches, then it will contain only the lion data will be there. The third step, we will have only the rabbit data will be there, right? So if you do training like that, it will not give much what we call it will not increase our training quality, right? So always the model is seeing at a time, the model is seeing only one type of data, so it will take long time to converge the model. Okay, so we need to have an option to shuffle the data. Okay, so that is one problem that usually we see in a neural network. Then definitely we have to do the pre-processing of data. So we need to do like a lot of pre-processing, or if it is an image, we have to do a lot of image transformations needed, right? So those things has to be done to do a better training with the neural network. Okay, so how can we achieve this? Definitely we can code and we can achieve this, right? But that is a long process, right? And definitely it is a error prone, and it is slow, and this will make complicated. So that's why the PyTorch has introduced two new tools, the dataset and the data loader. So from the name itself, it is almost clear that what its purpose, right? So dataset, it stores the data, and it can be considered as a container that knows how to fetch the individual data items. Okay, so for example, a box containing a set of pictures, and if I ask about like give me maybe I can say that give me like the picture number 5, it will return the picture number 5. And data loader, on other hand, data loader is wrapper around the data set. Okay, so which is actually execute things in a batches. So it can be considered as a delivery truck which bring a group data as a group. Okay, so for example, instead of asking for a one single picture, we can ask for a batch of picture. Okay, so which containing like a 32 photos together. So that is how the data loaders work. Okay, so I believe you guys have got some basic idea about data set and the data loader. Okay, so this we can discuss when we do the coding part. So let's open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio Code, and we will go through. I have already got some samples, so we will go through this notebook. Okay, so first we can see like any other machine learning framework or deep learning framework, PyTorch is also providing some built-in data set which actually will help the users to train the model or for the learning purpose, right? So here we can see similar to maybe like any other deep learning network, deep learning framework, this is providing a data set. Okay, here I can see we are importing a dataset from the Torch Vision, and from that I am actually downloading the function MNIST dataset. Okay, so which is containing some of the function datasets, and here I can specifically say few things. I can say where I have to download the data. Okay, so here I mentioned that like I have to download the root as data. So if you look on this data, here I can see the dataset can be seen here. Okay, then I am talking about I need to download the train data, then I am setting the download is equal to true, then I am using the transformation mechanism. So whenever I download the data, I have to convert this into ToTensor. Okay, so this is the one way of downloading the dataset to our maybe like into our the neural network. Okay, but this is most of the time this is kind of a useless. This can be used only for the training purpose or the POC purpose, right? In our real world, this will not make any sense, right? We need to have our own custom data set, and we need to train our custom model for based on the custom input data. Okay, for that we can use our data set and the data loaders. Okay, so this is a notebook. This is I got from the PyTorch tutorial itself, and this is written by this particular author. Okay, so I will be running this notebook, and our goal is not to understand the line by line items, and our goal is like where we are using the data set and where we are using the data loader. And once it's clear, maybe like in our coming video lecture, like we can discuss more about it. Okay, so let's start executing this. Okay, so let me execute the basic things first. So these are the basic imports that we are doing. Okay, and this is our data set. So our data set is giving like the shape of a so we have the data set, and we are actually let me take it. Okay, so we are actually taking the facial pose of a image. Okay, of a face image that we can see here. Then the data set, I have downloaded the data set from this particular location. So let me, maybe I can open it. Okay, like yeah, don't worry, like I will share the details, then you guys can download it. Okay, so I already have downloaded. You guys can see there are a lot of images are there. So if you open it, we can see a lot of images are there, and the image let me open the folder. So if you open the folder, here we can see face landmark can be seen. Okay, so every image has a face landmark. Based on that, we are drawing this landmark here. So if you open this, we can see. So let's go back to the code. Okay, so here we can see this is the face, and I'm drawing the landmark here. So this landmark drawing is done using that CSV file. Okay. So let's continue. What I am doing here, I am loading the data. Okay, and let's execute it. I'm loading the data frame. Now we can see, let's scroll it down. I'm just writing some sample code. So what this does is I'm taking one image from it. Okay, one image from it. I'm trying to mark the face mark. Okay, so that we can see. Now next is the important thing that we are going to discuss about the dataset class. Okay, so let's understand about this particular class. So whenever we create a custom dataset like the face landmark dataset, which should be imported from the dataset class, and it has to override two functions. Okay, so these are the two functions it has to write. One is the length function. So the length function will return the length of the dataset, and we need to override the get item method. So the get item method will return a data from the dataset. Okay, we discussed this, right? A dataset is a packet like which will return a data from the dataset. Okay, to execute this, we have to implement this. We need to implement this particular method, that is the underscore get item underscore. Here I am passing an ID. So based on this ID, I am returning the data. So the logic inside this function can be customized based on our use cases. Okay, so first let me execute this. Okay, so here we can see I'm taking a image based on this ID. Okay, I'm taking this image, and I'm taking the landmark here, and I'm returning the landmark and the image I'm returning from this get item method. Okay, if any transformation is there, I am doing the transformation also. Okay, let's see, let me execute this. Okay, so here we can see the landmark of the face landmark can be seen here. Okay, let's first next let's understand this code. So here I have a face landmark dataset is there. I am passing the CSV file path which contain the face landmark, then I am passing the root directory. Okay, now I'm just taking this, I'm going through this loop, and I'm just printing it. Okay, I'm just printing the 3 images, 3 or 4 images I am printing. Here I am checking I is equal to 3, which means I am printing the 4 images. Okay, let me see, let me execute it. You guys can see this is executing. Good. Okay, now let's talk about transform function. Okay. So here if you look on this this FaceLandmark dataset, we are passing the CSV file, and we are passing the root file, and we are passing the transform method. Okay, so the transform method, we can see if any transform method is there, we can implement, I mean we can execute the transform method. Okay, so that is why we are using self.transform and sample. Sample is the input image that we are passing. Okay. So ideally what happens with respect to, or what is actually the transformation? Okay. So let's look on this. Transformation is something we can do. Rescaling is one type of a transformation, or RandomCrop is a one type of a transformation, and ToTensor is one type of a transformation. Actually we are transforming our input data based on our use case. Okay, so you guys can see in this example, in this notebook, we have like 3 transform functions are there. One is Rescale transform function is there, and other is RandomCrop function is there, then the third one is ToTensor method is there. Okay, so let's execute it. Okay, I just executed it. Let me see, something is went wrong. Okay, so the execution is completed. Now what we can do, we can use transform.compose file, compose method to combine these transform methods. Okay, so here what I am doing, I am just using transform.compose, then I am just rescaling it, then I am doing the crop here. So we can see I am rescaling to 256 size, 215 256, and random crop is happening in 224 pixel. Okay, or 224 x or y value. Okay, so the okay, now let me execute it. So the execution is in progress, we'll see. Okay, so here we can see this is the rescale one, and this is the crop has been done here. Okay, so we can see the cropping is happened in the top right. So here we can see the full image can be seen here. Then we have done some random crop here, and we just did a ToTensor also applied here. Okay, so that is how we implement or we do the transformation function. Okay, now let's see how this can be done in our data, on our custom dataset. So in the custom dataset, we can see we have passed the CSV file, root directory, and I'm passing the different transformations here. Okay, so if this transformation is not null, what it does is I'm just going back here. This transformation is not null, it will execute the transformation. Here we can see if self.transformation is empty, I mean not none, okay, not empty, it will execute, or it will call the transform function. Okay, so let's execute it. I'm just scrolling it down. Let's execute it. Okay, here we can see the execution is done successfully. Okay, okay, so we are good in that part. Now let's talk about the data loaders. So as we discussed, the purpose of a data loader is we can do the batch execution, we can do the shuffling, and we can do the multiprocessing. Okay, so let's understand how can we do the data loaders. So data loader is a wrapper around the data set. So this is our data set, so I can declare data loader, then I can pass our data set. Then here I can mention the batch size, and I can set a shuffle is equal to true. Then I can specify the number of workers. Okay, so here I have set it as a 0. So that is a default one. Okay, maybe I can set it as a like a 1. I'm not sure this will work. We'll see. So I'm executing it. So here I'm taking it as a data loader, I'm taking it as a batches, and let's scroll it down. We can see the code. Here I'm getting an error. Worker is exec. Okay, so let's make it as a default value. Where is that? Let's scroll it down. Let's make it as a number of workers as a default value. Now execute it. Okay, so the execution is in progress. Here we can see I am executing this is the data loader. I am executing it as a batches, and here I can see I batch can be C and sample batches can be C. So if you look on this, we can see the torch size can be seen 468.2, and all those details can be printed here. Okay, so we are just only printing the 3 batches that we are printing. So if you look on here, we can see we are only printing the 3 batches are printing. Okay, so this is how we use the data loaders. Okay, so first we understood how we implement the data set, and here we understood like how we do the data loaders. Okay, so this is the major agenda of this tutorial. I know like a lot of things are not clear, but just understand the purpose of a data set and data loader. As I promise, we can clear it in our coming videos. Okay, so one more thing that we can discuss, like here actually if you look on this in the torch dot in the compose transformation, we actually write all the transformations, right? So this is my code. Okay, or I'm not saying this is my code, this is the person who wrote the code, right? This is not that one that is available by default. Okay, but actually there are a lot of transformations that is available by default. Okay, so PyTorch is providing lot of transformations by defaults. For example, I can import transform method can be imported from the torch vision. Then I can do like random resets can be done, horizontal flip can be done, and I can do a lot of normal. We can do the normalize also can be done. So by default they are providing a lot of transformation. So most of them can be done using this default, or most of the transformation can be done using this default methods. So okay, so we only need to write if only we badly need to write something, then only we need to write that, otherwise we can use the default one. Okay, so that is all about in this video. So in our coming videos we can discuss more about data loader, data set, and how can train the model, save them, all those details that we can discuss in our coming videos. So that's all about in this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.